Hola, ¿cómo está Las Vegas? Welcome to Radio Tribune. Of course, I am Chris Garcia, conservative American. But we are here today. It is a special, special, special day. We are here with Joseph Johnson Jr., a philosopher, a philanthropist. He is an unbelievable guy. I met him a few days ago, and he is going to bless us. He has his beautiful wife here. Cynthia, she's going to also be part of the Radio Tribune family. We're blessed to have both of them. Joseph is he's a rapper, he's a philosopher, he's an incredible talent. He's going to be extremely, extremely successful. And one day I believe he's going to have his own show, and he's going to have his own company and all kind of stuff. But we're just so glad to have him here. And he's going to bless us with a show every day at 5 o'clock. It's going to be called Media Universal with Existence. And I'm telling you right now, this guy, you will learn so much from him. We have a little saying around here. He starts to talk and we go, what? Because he's just that smart. He's in a whole other plane. But I'm telling you, watch what happens. You're going to watch the show one time, and then you're going to push subscribe. And every time his show comes on, it's going to go right to your cell phone, your tablet, your laptop, and you're going to get stuck. Every single day, you're going to want to watch it and see what he has to say and what you're going to learn from him. He's going to discuss a few topics with me and his wife today. He's going to bless you with some of his philosophies. With that, Joseph, I'm so glad to have you aboard. I'm so glad that you're having your privilege. Thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What's going on?
Say Las Vegas resident, a proud learning rebel for going on 5 years. Within the experience of a lot of visitors versus natives do have their views, and then we have those that come on vacation in Las Vegas, and I've learned that the first time I came, I said, okay, well, we see where the relief of the vacation is, what it has to offer. But then as we found ourselves here as visitors, and it was like, okay, we're down on money, and we have natural resources of where you would be a resident elsewhere, food stamp benefits, just to be clear at. But we actually found ourselves walking along the outskirts of the Strip.
Yes.
And some folks were just like, okay, well, if you guys are just visiting and you need to go to a store, this convenience store over here, but don't go any further down, a couple of blocks, because that's where it gets residential. I mean, it's like real bad. It's like, well, it can't be that bad for a place to build such reputation and rapport.
Yes.
To come to where there is a constant flow of, basically visitors all over the world.
Yes.
Second time here, which is in the now. I am resident and working back towards giving back to what I've endured, learned, and have gained here in Las Vegas. Some trials to its tribulation, but definitely trials that could have been failed within its severity, but learning how to bounce back to an accord. Can you answer that?
When she gives you the thumbs up, she gives that means providing for the radio. It's straight, you can hear it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to add to that. It's been a rocky road, but Vegas has everything to offer to everybody. Right. It's just a matter of lining yourself up, so to speak, in order to get what you want out of Vegas. Because if you line yourself up to get what you want out of Vegas, Vegas will give it to you.
That's the truth. Wow. I'm telling you guys right now, these are two stars. I'm serious. They're humble, and I love that. I love that because that's the making of a star when you're humble. But we are really blessed. I don't think they understand. When I meet people that bring things to the table, when I meet people that are going to bless me here at my radio station, I'm more excited than they are. Like, I'm tingling inside because I know how much Cynthia is going to bring. She's so talented. She's in college. She's going to school for criminal justice. We had a chance to talk off camera, and she's just going to be an asset. She's going to do some advertising here at the Las Vegas Tribune and the radio station. She's going to be such an asset. Whoever didn't hire her or whoever, that's your loss, that's my game. I feel like we were blessed. And Joseph is an incredible philosopher. I almost wanted to introduce him as Dr. Joseph. I really did as Dr. Joseph Johnson Jr., Dr. Joseph James
You guys
Johnson Jr. That's why I didn't. I almost wanted to do that, but I just started my radio station. I don't want to get sued because people will call me like, doctor, what do you think about that? You got a doctor? Yeah. That's why I said philosopher. He's a philosopher. But still, we would love for you all to call in the future if you have any questions, because you can ask a person a question and you can ask what his philosophies are on certain issues. The calling number is 702-984-6843. And what we will give you is each show will be on from 5 to 6 o'clock Pacific time. So those of you listening on the East Coast, the Midwest, and the Central Plains know that when you call in, you have to understand that we're on 5 to 6 o'clock Pacific time. Sometimes the phone rings late at night or early in the morning. They don't realize what time it is out here. So we want you to know that it's 5 to 6 Pacific time. The number is 702-984-6843. When you have questions for Cynthia or you have questions for the philosopher Joseph James Johnson Jr. right here, then you can call in. He would love to talk to you no matter where you are in the country. He would love to give you his philosophy.
If I may add to that, if that is PhD again, sometimes in respect it from is neutral, please hush, darn it. So within that, the intent is to learn, and within that relay, you will therefore by auto teach within this learning with those around you, those who are actually attending the show, and even from each other as we go along down the road.
Let's go. Joseph has the topics that he wants to talk to about. He's going to bless us. And I'm telling you at home, you're going to get mesmerized. You're going to be sick. But I'm telling you, listen to him. You're going to be sitting there going, what? He's a little deep. He's a little deeper than maybe we are. But he's going to go through some topics right now. And he's going to talk about it. Is everything okay over there?
Yeah. We'll jump into it with situations. Don't assume the situation within a conclusion before all options to how it may have presented itself is counted into. I find within it being very critical as an advice to within applied, because you may say this thing happened, and then you may say, okay, it had to be because of, to within this cause and effect. And you find yourself within that general realm reaching the impasse of you're either right or you're wrong. Whereas to where you do present within options of all that, instead of at its conclusion, you still find yourself at a middle ground. So it's within this ballpark of you're not right, you're not wrong, but then within offering all those options to it, you could actually remind an individual as well as regale an individual of certain things to, now that you say it and put it this way, I can see how it would have aligned itself in a whole other aspect to give it a different presentation of its display. Wow. Anybody want to throw out there any examples? Again, definitely call in if you do have any examples of situations or situations that you have been through within existence. I mean, we have been through it to where you can learn from the next, and some can definitely relate to where, the old school, they've probably been through it 3 or 4 times.
I want to ask you a question, Joe. I want to ask you and your wife a question, so I'll let whichever one. I'll let Cynthia go first, because I already know you got the answer. But a lot of people struggle. They get to certain points in life and they want to know, what is the purpose? What's the purpose? Why am I here? What is this all about, Cynthia? What do you think?
I'm probably actually not the best person to answer.
Okay.
Because I myself am sitting just last night even asking myself that exact same question. Yeah. Well, if I don't have this anymore and I don't have this anymore, and no matter how hard I tried and no matter how hard I worked, I still don't have it, I still can't get to where I'm at or where I want to be, then what's the point?
Right.
And you have to kind of sit back and remind yourself that, I'm of the firm belief that everything happens for a reason. Yes. Exactly when, where, and how it's supposed to.
Yes.
So while you may want to believe deep down inside somewhere, a part of you does believe, there's just no point. Yeah. That's And unfortunately, we get to a lot of people that take their own lives because they get
Yeah,
to
you're helping a lot of people out there right
and
now.
that feeling becomes overwhelming.
Yes.
You can't let that feeling overwhelm you.
Wow.
You cannot do that. And I wanted to talk, honestly, because I was sitting there going through it last night. Complete and total wreck, rocking back and forth, tears streaming down my face. Just don't care. I'm just gonna go lay down somewhere. I'm gonna go crawl into a hole, and I'm not coming back out. But you can't let that feeling overwhelm you. You have to remember that there's a reason for what you're going through.
Yes.
There's a reason for what you're going through, and it sounds totally cliche, and it is really cliche, but it is. And now I completely forgot what I was about to say. It was but that cliche about. There's a reason for it. There really is. I can't remember what the saying is at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a point.
Yes.
There's always a point. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you still have left to go through, what you've been through makes you who you are. And going through it, there it is. That which does not kill you will only make you stronger. So you gotta, don't let it kill you.
Yeah.
Don't let it kill your spirit. Don't let it kill your will. And it kind of reminds me of a little story I read on Facebook at one point about 4 candles, and one of the candles was faith, and one of the candles was love, and then there was a third candle, I can't remember what it was, and there was a 4th candle, and the 4th candle was hope. And as each candle blew out, the little boy that walked into the room with his candles noticed that candles were going out one by one, and one by one. And well, after so many days, he came back, and the 4th candle was still burning. And so he asked the 4th candle, why are you still burning? And he said, well, for my child, I have hope. And as long as you have hope, the rest can restart.
That's right.
Wow. Wow. How do you follow that, philosopher? Let me
I'll say, to I guess, concur with which does not kill you, make you stronger. I think with us, the purpose of us being here today within this present time is to, within that gift of free will given, how will you unravel yourself to others, upon the very existence around you, to the future, before done. How will you be that very gift of that free will presented? Within the choices that you are presented with as soon as you're born. How will you, within those choices given, align yourself with so many simulations, and life itself is not pretty much a conglomerate of simulations within different ways that it actually is applicable to one's life, but that's what will make another life form and beautiful souls that I would say are the everlasting version of us so unique, because then we can pass that down to where it doesn't just go down to, I passed it to those that were here with me, I passed it to those that were here with me, that's going to pass on to those after me, to where even learn and grasp from those before me.
Wow.
But what happens when your free will is taken away?
That would be along its confines of choice. Of choices that's presented. An example of hitting back to situations. You'll find yourself in a situation to where within this you would be at free will to not only just assess from an out of box, but if you're caught within involvement of this situation, you can either choose to go about it within its forwardness to cut this section done. Or you can get through it with an intuitive walkthrough to where it's like some people are like, okay, you're just way too adept into it. If it was me, it would have been as simple as 1, 2, 3. And some things to others aren't as simple as that. To much severe situations, this one, and maybe hard-hitting at it on such a subject, again, do feel free to call in, because it doesn't provide just one view. It does give an open view to how we can reach a neutral understanding to where it doesn't so much argue against one's opinion, but then agreed to how
So you can get back to free will, you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
For example, the one that would take life. You know, where they would be in a situation that they would have to kill or be killed.
Yeah.
But whereas one would see a murderer and see an officer. You know, they say, well, you know, oh, well, you killed someone, you're a bad person, you're going to get killed, and because you didn't have a right to take their life. But then again, where would it be so at its right to, because you're in a policing position, and you would have to make that call, unfortunately, to where even not being an officer, you would find yourself being in a civilian position. You know, and then with 4th of July coming up to thinking about how with American history coming, these are within a simulated situations to where one does assess at that free will to where saying, okay, I think you're going to take my life. In my free will, in an instant, if you really truly consider all the way down within that instinct, impulse, snap reaction, don't have time, you're going to think, well, I'll kill you before you kill me. To which one that would be in control would then say, all right, well, I'm going to neutralize you, take this out your hand so you don't kill me. This way it may be at its injury, but we avoided in this effect death.
When you're talking, like you mentioned, like a murderer and an officer.
Wow.
But when you're talking about like an officer and an assailant, unfortunately, and especially much more so here in recent past, officers are taking that free will decision too far. And they're killing people that don't have weapons and do not deserve to die. So where is that person's free will? That person didn't have a weapon. That person didn't do anything to condone being killed by somebody who was supposed to enforce that very law.
That's around them is.
So what happened to that person's free will? Where does that person get their free will? How did they get it back now that they're gone? You can't turn back the hands of time. So what happens when your free will is taken away?
Wow.
Well, it's within that point of surrounding views. Yes, within this, keeping the way you presented it, if you turn it like, you know, if you turn it like you look at the globe, you turn it and then you're looking at the same country per se, but now you're turning it and you're looking at the country from an angle. That's like saying with a stray bullet that goes by. You know, what happens to that person's free will if they had nothing to do with it, but they're caught in a crossfire?
Exactly.
To within nowadays to where it's better approached and assessed to where an officer, to where, I mean, even we do as freedom to media, to record, they would literally rewind it and go over it to where instead of immediately pulling that gun or that baton, where it was back in the day, you know, to saying, all right, this is what I have to work with as my tools, handcuffs and stuff. Now they have tasers to subdue instead of immediately pulling the trigger at a bang, you're pulling the trigger at a shot. This is
You remember when we lived in San Francisco? Look at the BART police incident.
okay.
How many times
That was
did BART
famous,
police kill somebody in the station that was not armed when they had so many other weapons at their disposal?
Yes, so many other weapons at their disposal, but given the experience of that and its history of it, not to defend if it's right or wrong, to where, yeah, you'd have it, they'd say, you know, okay, well, we assessed with this to where instead of immediately even having guns on us at all, we have our batons to, you know, hey, if we have to actually insert force to where we got to fight and defend ourselves, we will. To where at that, then you'd have an incident to say, okay, I'm going to one-up that to which you do have to protect with. I remember working as a security guard in San Francisco as well, and not to just take off the subject and its bounce to where they said, hey, we're going to start actually getting applications to where you can start actually holding firearms. And it worried me very much because, you know, it's like, all right, well, I have my radio, and in a situation to where, unfortunately, if I have to use it.
What are you going to do if somebody pulls a gun out? Are you knocking them in the head with the radio? You going to throw the radio at them and run? I'm not saying that officers don't need to carry weapons. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that I think the training that our officers today are getting is not where it should be. It's nowhere near where it should be. That discretion, that judgment call, it's getting made way too easy. It used to be that officers didn't pull that trigger unless they were under immediate threat. But you don't have a weapon in your hand, so where's the immediate threat? You're specially trained in hand-to-hand combat. So why do you need that firearm if you're specially trained in hand-to-hand combat and you're not being threatened with a weapon?
We're within this championship. Did you get you on it?
No, I'm just enjoying it.
You do have that training in hand-to-hand combat, but then it's not, I wouldn't think so much training in its hand-to-hand combat as opposed to training to impulse assessment of the situation that you are actually going to engage in.
Yes,
Or impulse assessment of engagement.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They need to be going through impulse training and assessment trainings at least once a year, and probably more so than that.
I think so, given its upkeep of being in the force, and not only police officers. I mean, we're talking all full branch.
Yeah, that's,
you know,
oh yeah, I understand that, because it's a very stressful job to live in. And in a lot of situations, in a lot of towns, especially smaller communities that can't afford it, with their police departments and everything, the officers, the detectives, the sergeants, whoever's in charge there, they're not getting the psychological evaluations to make sure that they're still mentally stable to do the job that they need to be doing on a regular basis. In most cases, when you have small towns, they don't get those psychological evaluations until they've had to use their weapon, or they've been injured on the job, and they're like, well, we want to make sure that, this isn't going to affect you too much. Well, you should have been making sure that the stress and pressures of the job weren't affecting you too much to put me in that position in the first place.
All right. If I think about it from an aspect of civil. Say you're within a civil situation, and not so much within as authoritative to where you would have a court to maintain the peace within his career. But you have the civil situation to where also, if aware of how you can apply to such an assessment, parents living in a neighborhood where there may or may not be average crime rate of violence, to where within it's possible, it's around there, it's there. It can happen at any moment, at any time, to where within that vigilance of constant daily train, neighborhood watch, hey, not many people within specifics will just go and reach in their pocket as soon as they walk up to you. Or someone that's sitting down, that would be sitting down at a park bench, would, where they were taking the time to kind of look around and kind of enjoy the scenery and just happen to see, hey, I wonder what that person is doing sitting on that landing or on that balcony that happened to be across from where I'm sitting. And you'd probably think, oh man, it's a sniper. Oh no, he's having a cigarette. But I got my eye on you, but not within the Giovanni case. And there we go with the catchphrase. What? The same. What I'm trying to do is compare within this awareness to where some people point out where things can actually be applicable, but not say same situations align, but can within this build from both sides to a neutral understanding that how you would engage into a situation pertaining to, this is what we would call cops for. This is what we would call the police for. But then again, how would you then assess in engaging into that situation of, okay, well, we happen to know the neighborhood, and then this time and when the cops will be here, and they're on their way, but then we need something immediate now to where some civilians, like, we would have to engage or stand idly by as it progresses to an unfortunate.
Well, that's where you get into, look at the 9/11 attacks, for example. There weren't U.S. Marshals on those airplanes. So civilians, in some cases, in a couple of those planes, did take matters into their own hands and try to save as many lives as possible. Because the civilians that were on that plane realized that there was really, that was pretty much, I hate to say it like that, it sounds very cold-hearted, but they realized, please don't anybody take it like that. I know that a lot of people lost loved ones in the 9/11 attacks, so please don't take any offense to what I say, but a lot of people on that thing, they realized that that was pretty much the end of the line. So they took matters into their own hands to try to save as many lives as possible.
Yeah.
Because by crashing that plane into the mountainside or into the field, what have you, only the people on that plane lost their lives for that plane. As opposed to had it made it to its target, how many hundreds or thousands more would have.
So we're gonna wrap it up. We got about 2 minutes left in the show. So you guys wanna
All right, hey,
just tell people what they got what they got to look forward to in your show, Joe.
Looking forward to not only just Jay said regarding this talk show issue, definitely within this radio universal music choice. For someone that just doesn't like to talk, we talk, where I express my PhD in relation and no, not within this degree to be a doctor, but the please hush darn it order. To actually, while listening to music that can relate and actually engage the mind, and then leave open to where you have options for college. Again, we're here with Radio Tribute.
Yes.
Hard hitting truth,
That's right.
but definitely within the spirit of us being as one with you.
That's right. I'm telling you what a show. It's going to be coming on from 5 to 6 o'clock, Monday through Friday, Media Universal with Existence. This is one of the best things I've ever been part of. If you all didn't learn something from this show, you are absolutely crazy. This was incredible. Cynthia was such a pleasure to have you. Are you sure you're not going to do the show with him?
I think you guys should do another
I
couple.
think you guys should do it.
I think you guys have great chemistry. You guys
Because
have
you guys going through this dry run of couples counseling. Nice to go through the dry run of couples counseling, with everyone. That way we don't have to feel that we have to be in front of a therapist, but we are in from the media. And fortunately, not a lot of jaws dropped because they're Paul Day drama. But within this dramatic of definitely reaching this neutral standpoint of saying these issues are here, these issues are real.
Yeah.
Very real, as that's real.
Wow. Incredible show. Philosopher, philanthropist, Joseph.
Thank you so much, man.
I look forward to your shows, man. He's incredible. You guys together, I didn't know this was going to happen. But I think that you guys chemistry on the show. I think you should do your show together. I really do. Or at least you should come on 4 times out of 5. I think it's incredible, man. The topics are unbelievable. God bless America and God bless our troops all over the country. And look forward to seeing the show. It'll be on from 5 to 6 o'clock, Monday through Friday. It will be up on YouTube in a few hours. We're going to get it up as soon as we possibly can. Push the subscribe button. The name of the show is Media Universal with Existence here at Radio Tribune. God bless you and look forward to just more shows. And remember to call in and ask Joseph and his wonderful wife any questions you might have. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, guys. The show, man.
So I got a bunch of, I said, like, chicken